Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They're claiming that you were this third person.
Forgive me. I'm so...
God, I forgot how to do the pirate voice. So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Should I send you off quickly or very quickly? No evidence tonight, Director Cosmos, so don't try and talk your way out of this.
Fine, I'll tell the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the Warden Lounge. Got there before Detective Almond. When she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would kill her, so I escaped to the control room. Went past the elevators and then we ran on again. Came up behind Detective Allen, pretended to be the second on the scene.
What a troublesome old man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts. I see. So then... Are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim?
Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, saw the true killer. The great Jerry Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Now hold on just one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago. And the third person that Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Oliver Blackwell saw was you.
No, it wasn't me. I saw the person as well. I were the killer. Why would I like to cover for Starbuck? Or just leave him to take the fall?
Here's an excellent point.
All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. So I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person.
Well, it makes some sense if you told those lies good for Mr. Starbuck.
In the lounge, the true killer inside fired the gun at me. I had to avoid getting shot. When I tried to get another look, they had vanished in thin air. Was near the elevator side door and, well, the launch pad 1 door. The control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
So you were shot at by the killer as well, and then they disappeared?
Yes, and luckily no harm came to my clothes body. Fortunately, the bullet hit Terran's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, my thought bullet hit his medal. That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember? Right, what mess this is turning into. So let's see. I think the Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer... My mind would be in better focus.
silence.
Director Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor? No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. Didn't see Starbuck until your person vanished and I entered the room. That wasn't exactly helpful. I'm prepared to accept your surrender, right, Sooner? I can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. This just might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you can do with him. Bye-bye. Pinpoint at Nyanga? Wait a minute. I don't think there's anything strange here. Don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake this time. I think maybe you're right. Weird how he feels sad on that one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the launchpad door. The great Yuri Cosmos, afraid? And what basis do you have for that outlandish accusation? Whether I have any basis or not, you seem quite distressed by it. I'm most certainly not. Director Cosmos, there's something about the launchpad door you're not telling us, isn't there? Ah! Okay, back in the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory. Potato master.
Just start speaking, just... Wait, that's not right. Wait, that's not... The fire was very strange and the killer vanished in the thin air. I did! That kind of thing just doesn't happen usually. And yet at that time you barely registered any shock at the occurrence. What? Why are you... Can I think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised by the killer's vanishment? You must have had a good idea of where they went. Isn't that right? What? No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. The area beyond the launch pad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. As for the southern door, we're standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to. Maybe, or maybe not. You went into them to check on Mrs. Starbuck and Mr. Tevin, yes? What if the culprit took the opportunity to silently slip out through the southern door? I highly doubt it. At your core, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing toward it herself via the southern hallway. Anyone trying to escape there would have been caught by her. And yet, the director wasn't surprised the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure there was no escape route for the culprit to use? Thanks, Athena. Now to make sense of what we've learned. Director Cosmos wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge, which points to the possibility that he knew where the killer had escaped to. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launch pad made him uneasy. In other words, he's probably hiding something about launch pad 1 door. When we put these two pieces together, only one solution to this puzzle comes to mind. Director Cosmos, did the real killer escape through here?
Take that!
A master tactician you are not. True, but this is still the only logical answer there is. You just figure out what the director is hiding about the launch pad 1 door, you should be able to iron out logical inconsistencies. But that door requires fingerprint recognition. The Starbuck, Tevin and I have access. Don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock, do you? That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meaning there's a way he could have easily gotten past that security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the prints and the fingerprint recognition device. Funny how after the time skip, it switched to Apollo's.
Take that!
Oh wait, it was Starbuck, dumbass.
Take that!
Nuts! Mr. Starbuck was lying unconscious in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gotten past the security lock by using Mr. Starbuck's prints. And actually, Mr. Starbuck's prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen. Arrgh! Looks like he does have something to hide about the Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. But I don't have enough information to see the whole picture yet. You know, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it? Huh? Oh, yes, by all means. There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1. Right, the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Yona? The true culprit escaped into the Launchpad 1 corridor. And that might have been recorded on the security footage as well. Then the mystery will be solved. What do you think of my logic? I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much without your boldness. I beg your pardon? Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point... Oh my! The footage cuts off! The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by after effects of the explosion. There was no footage after this, be it of criminals or space aliens. And I thought it was such a good idea too. Just because your grandchild is watching from the gallery doesn't mean you should try to show off too much, Grandpa Boldness. Prosecutor Blackwell, how did you know about my grandchild? I think his grandchild just learned a little about the harshness of the adult world. Setting aside the issue of grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge? Director Cosmos, why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural? Sadly, even great men such as myself are of ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. When a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasion. Yes, I'm sure you do. But my real point is not the fact that you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by. Pardon me? First, you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were of course again surprised when she shot at you. But considering what you were surprised about, strange phenomenon occurs. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprise reaction is the fact that you were... Before I had it. Mayhaps not. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Armstrong hit you, but the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater. No! The fact that you were more surprised by simply being found than being shot at suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there.
The enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence operation, hide under your desk. Ah!
Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. And wherever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. Hey, look at that. There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos?
What is it? What have you two been up to over there?
Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you, that's all. And the answer lies clearly in this footage. All you have to do is compare it to the photo that was taken during the investigation.
Don't be ridiculous. If you really do have an answer, you'd have pointed it out already.
He's asking for it? This is what changed directly after the incident.
Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that!
That's different from after the incident. No need for instance. Wait a minute.
Take that!
The answer is it's not.
Nah, that's...
Your Honor, please take a look at this footage. Let's see. Take a look at the knob next to the launchpad door. As you can see, it's horizontal. Yes, it is, isn't it? However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical. And what does that mean? It means that sometime between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob. Arr! After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos. Let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning the knob by the door? Arr! Fine, I admit it. You're right, I did turn the knob. The knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. I'm afraid there have been more explosions, so I wanted to move the launch pad away. You wanted to do what? Didn't Honko tell us something about how you prepare for launch? I guess that clears up what that knob's for. I don't think so. The launchpad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped from that corridor. Fine, but listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony. Why did I nearly say territory now? I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so, and yet when you did it, you felt some joy as if you were very pleased with yourself. Arr! How do you do it? How do you know everything as if you were there? Very impressive, isn't it? Uh-huh. So care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? And I think back on the facts we've discovered up to this point, I have to believe that you are trying to fulfill some hidden agenda. Arr! How do you know about that too? Because I'm more or less a pro? I'm guessing. But you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never ever tell you, so there. I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake. And how could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity?
Silence!
You, a man of integrity? Don't make me laugh. Prosecutor Blackwell? What came over him all of a sudden? You've spouted nothing but falsities since you stepped up to the stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Annals of history? Not for greatness, anyway. Unless you consider greatest barefaced liar an honor. Liar! His words bite harder than his blade. You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosions? My, how naive you are. You fail to realize how even the facts themselves betrayed you. You know, just thought, but modern English can be your friend. And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge 1 side. So please confirm this on screen. What? Liar? So that means the director didn't move Launchpad. Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to a witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games for his heart's content. Liar!
Objection!
But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned that knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to. Ah! I'm sure it must have went somewhere. We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Youngins these days don't understand it. Sure, Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. The launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Ah! Wait a minute, maybe I have it all backwards. Why did the Director turn the knob, not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be? What are you blabbering about? What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? And then, after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back. And that'll be right where the police found it. You made him sound like... Was what I said really out of base? Pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is. Only after you discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. In fact, that has been recorded for posterity on Filmless Film. Alright. So to reiterate. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy. Second thought, that's too far-fetched even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket? Hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe. Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad, but instead went into another area? Went into another place, not another area. And what if when the director moved launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then? Cut the existential ball or cut you. Mr. Wright, you'll explain yourself at once. No, right, it was all the way around from the beginning. Very well, Your Honor, let me explain. Director Cosmos' reason for moving launch pad 1 was to hide it. Playing up. Could you want me to switch it with some other place? I'm sorry, but did you say switch it? What could he possibly have switched the launchpad with? Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box, and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with launchpad 1. The Space Museum. Space Museum.
Take that!
Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. There's all the same features as Launchpad 1 and can even be moved to the launch site. Meaning, the Space Museum and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other. You can't mean... The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. There was one in the Space Museum. What? And yet, it's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. This is how the Space Center was just before the incident. I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places. That's right, with the two switch like this. The astronauts entered the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1. This allowed the true killer to enter Launchpad 1 from boarding lounge 2. Set the bomb on the rocket. Come to think of it, the door to the Space Museum is 192. Welcome, welcome! The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 AM to 7. Exactly. Anyone can pass through the door to the Space Museum. There's no fingerprint recognition system in that door. In other words, with the 2 launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted the bomb. Ah! After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into Boeing Lounge 1 and waited there. And 2 astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Recall that Mrs. Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck, and the director saw a suspicious figure, who we can suppose, after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. After that, Director Cosmos switched the 2 launch pads back, without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway. Ah! Alright, to do now, so you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. How such a call your swordmaster bluff? A seasoned warrior who has cut down many imposters.
Silence!
Unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword. And that's right, you have no proof of switch launch pads. Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. The number. Huh? Number on the floor. Well, what do you know? Looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell. And if this is just another bluff. Oh, don't worry. It's all right here. Right in this footage. Prove that beyond the store is the corridor to the Space Museum. Very well then, answer this for me if you would. What in this footage proves that the corridor belongs to the Space Museum? The number.
Take that!
There's a 1 on the floor of the Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor of the corridor in the security footage. Do you see the number on the floor besides the astronauts? Doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because what you see is actually part of a 2. What? Why you say 2 and not 1? That's because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum. Ah! And so that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke? That's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion occurred in Launchpad 1 on the side opposite the Space Museum. Mr. Terran, carrying Mr. Starbuck, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level. Just incredible, the 2 launch pads were actually switched. But you'd think someone would have noticed an event of this magnitude. Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. Ah! Bye-bye! No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time you told us the truth. Ah! My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon. Electric engine, ignition! Ah!
My star! My glory! No, yeah! Bailiff, on your steed and after that witness. I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched launch pads? I admit it's true. Switched launchpad 1 for the Space Museum. Oh, it's good to hear words I can believe for a change. Before you do, Your Honor, 2 things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? Display, not explain. As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say, my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. Director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason. Probably not a good time to try to pry it out of him, huh? Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing. Don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars. There appears a possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say? I don't get it. Don't get it? What don't you get? Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us! Mr. Starbuck. Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why. But I had to do it to protect the Space Center. Director? Will I ever get the chance to go into space again? Yes, of course. I won't rest until it happens. I will get you into space again, my boy. Then the dream is still alive?
Silence!
You're not going into space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on it? Yes, I accept that launch pads really were switched, and if there were a third person I've seen, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Oh, that's a good point! He's right. Don't have any proof. What? Me? Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't... I have to do something. Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself. Ha! Now, you know that violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell. This annoyingly cheerful laugh. To me, none other than... Champion of Righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. Justice we trust. Detective Fulbright? Oh wait, that was my Apollo voice.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. I don't believe we had an appointment. I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, just as sure as a full-time job. Was there a fight between cats, or... Why are you here again? Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served. I don't have any idea. Alright. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. Have you finally succumbed? Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment. What evidence? Come to think of it, you did say something about finding us some evidence. Thanks, you two. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. Going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. I didn't think you were serious, then. So what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent? It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this, a lighter? That's right, a lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. That's the victim Clay Taryn's blood, along with its killer's fingerprints on it. What? Ah! Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant? You bet. Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent. Wow, my voice has just changed. Aha. This is it. This is just what I needed. Your Honor, this is decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with lighter in the hand into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. And switching of the two launch pads occurred. And finally, the killer left from boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found at boarding lounge 1 after the murder, a fact that Director Cosmos has testified to. And therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one to drop lighter. Ah, but the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Would he have not have dropped the light in the Space Museum during the final time? You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure of the lighter. He went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had the time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could have only been dropped by the real killer. Most importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on this lighter. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't the culprit. This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims. As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, you can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. No! There must be some mistake. Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. Understand your urgency, because tomorrow...
Silence!
All right, you promised never to speak of that. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow? Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent, in light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. Few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds defendant Solomon Starbuck not guilty. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright. Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you, and please thank Apollo for me too. You all are the best. Yeah, me too. That's gonna have to wait. Now that the verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
It's too late to object, isn't it? Simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict? All right. What were the results of the fingerprint analysis for Leiter? The results? Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Well, I was in a hurry, you see. And then there was that cat fight, and, well... I kinda got carried away when I heard the prince from Mr. Starbucks, so... You have yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prince belonged to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes. So says the report. What? What? Huh? Me? Order, I say, order. Miss Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving that this lighter could only belong to the killer, so finding your prints on it can only lead to one grave conclusion. This can't be happening. We built up our argument piece by piece. I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty, so how could it have been led to this? Ugh. What have I done? Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying. What in the world is happening here? Like the world's gone mad. Order! Order! I will have order! Now, given the fact that shit had officially hit the fan, confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. No one can escape in their past. Oh shit. Oh wait, she only had the one hand gloved. I was gonna say, how the fuck are her prints on it when she wears gloves? The sins we've committed. God damn it, should we... No matter how far we run, our past remains, as ever present as the moon in the sky. Looms in wait, for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards the tomorrow. December 20, 1:23 p.m. Right, anything agency. They took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. Oh, because it happens directly after, that's why. But now, Apollo's gone off on his own to seek his own truth, and my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. Seemed quieter in here than usual. Yeah. Seems so empty too. Just don't get it, Daddy. All the reason during the trial seemed perfect. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I still believe it was. At least based on what we know. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. The lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proved the defendant Solomon Starbuck innocent. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. Been racking my brains, but I just can't figure it out. Where's the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here? Uh-huh. Of course I will. And thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. You try this one. There's no time to waste if I'm going to prove Athena's innocence. I better get out there and find some evidence. Great, but before... unnecessary evidence left at the office. Athena's probably still in the middle of being questioned. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead! Director! Scooted away. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I tracked his name through them. I'm feeling good at the trial earlier today. Board and Lounge. December 20. Cosmos Space Center. Boarding Lounge. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey. Mr. Starbuck, you've been released, huh? Yep, and I come straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. Can't thank you enough. Except... What's wrong? Thought you'd be happy to be acquitted. So I was coming out of the detention center. I saw Miss Sykes. He saw Athena? I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed the peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go home. Now you can go back into space someday. Yeah, that sounds like Athena. Can just picture it. But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. She's got to be suffering. She must be worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me that big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena. There's no question about it. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then they can put me in prison instead. I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. Promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be alright with you and her. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo has a fine boss to look though. About the murder. I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I haven't the foggiest idea. So there never was going to be a launch that day, not from the very beginning. I wouldn't have claimed it. I imagine he must have. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worth less than space debris. Is he going to be alright, Daddy? His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Well, that's just how he is. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer? Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something from the police. They say they never did find a 10 caliber gun down the trash chute. Just as I thought, the culprit must have carried it away with him when they escaped. So was the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbuck? I couldn't really tell. But it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? I can't even tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. The door. Ah, yes. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except right now the door leads to the space station. Space Museum. Why do I keep calling space? I'm calling everything the Space Center. Does this take place on the moon or something? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory of human report. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's behind that door now. Oh my fucking god, is she deaf? Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure, just let me have my phone scanned here. Do launchpads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times. And these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right, because quite frankly, the Space Center needs some money. I hear you. Time's sure tough. Daddy, let's go check out what's behind that door. Sure, let's go. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. Huh? Wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. She's right. Some modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. I don't know if they were stuck to the bottom of someone's shoes. Wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been stepped on. Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. Nothing special here. So this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open sesame. So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either? That's right, Juicy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan their prints when they escaped back out of the Space Museum corridor in the boarding lounge too. Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. Imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. December 20, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance.
Curse the wretch who soiled my good name. Reverse course and full speed away.
Direct to Cosmos, wait. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that.
Ah! The mobility system has been compromised.
Juicy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. My dare hold battleship, we've fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy, he's gonna blow that thing up. Nah, I bet all a button will do is make it go haywire again.
Very well, I surrender. The prisoner of war I expect to be treated honorably.
Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching launch pads, you used your right to remain silent. Found the reason as to why.
The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner.
No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo a Cyclops if I want to get to the bottom of this.
Take that!
I think they can think things over.
Take that!
I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured out the instant they stepped in the Space Museum. They figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off.
Take that!
You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then when Mr. Starbuck in the days, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum.
Somebody please help this poor prisoner of war.
How was he able to spin around like that? If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch?
If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone to all that trouble?
Guess you must have had a compelling reason why you couldn't call it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? But it was just a what? Could even have been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely?
Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days.
Oh? Didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone.
Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communications system, you see.
AKA a regular old telephone.
It's been a while planning another launch. I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call.
The bomber said it's been a while, and that was enough to make you take the threat seriously. Perhaps I like the Cosmos took the threat so seriously, because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before. Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. The How-One Miracle, an epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? If you knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said it's been a while, you knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that the danger was real, and it wasn't just a prank.
Ah, didn't anyone ever tell you to go easy on the next serviceman? Yes, the Hat-One Miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. He even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight.
Sabotage, murder, so this is the ugly truth behind the Hat-One Miracle.
Let my guard down. Thought the saboteur had been caught, and that the case was closed.
Huh? Wait a minute. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the killer. Was the culprit.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell. The murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes? But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. The culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, and it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. Him and the true culprit's been running free all this time.
How do you keep seeing straight through me?
Switching the launch pads. Switching the launch pads.
Don't know why, but I found like shine on a different boy. Oh god, here I go again.
The reason why Director Cosmos wouldn't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the How-One Miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding.
If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads, we'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago.
7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat-One Miracle?
The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme.
So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered.
All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You can't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. Don't even know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? You mean someone who infiltrates a fire? Yeah. What makes you think that? Someone's watching way too many late night movies. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not that surprising that spy could be behind it all. Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. Same MO as this time. Yes, I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. And ninjas and spies basically the same thing. But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen in the hands of a spy. Don't tell me you made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed, and then to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the one miracle, wasn't it? Then 7 years later, the same MO, advanced warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching launch pads. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch launch pads, wasn't it? They knew about the sabotage, the moonrock, the murder, and they said, you don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do ya? Immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honour. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe she was usually inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched to launch pads. And staged the moving research. Rescue scene. Research scene? The fuck? First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from Boarding Lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repairs sign at the door to Launch Pad 1 in Boarding Lounge 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? Where was the... I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it. He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well until... Plays murder, huh? Yep. The culprit made their escape. I switched the launch pads back. Did it in such a way that no one would find out, but after all that effort... Terran is dead and the Hat 2 is destroyed. The Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. My home, the center of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for. Wait, what do you mean by the Hope capsule was lost in that blast? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at a crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The Colton bombing, call it. Yeah, another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of launch pads. What? How? The police found the wiretapping device during their investigation today. Bug aboard my battleship. Tap on my advanced communication system. Why on that phone? Yes, how I on this very phone. I use this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launch pad switch. Just a few select members who knew about the plan. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. And the spy must be the Phantom prosecuted Blackwell has been chasing. Well, if the culprit 7 years ago is the same person in the current incident, the main prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's an if though. Do you think he's gonna be alright? Well, at least he'd be in good company. There must be planets out there you can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the HAL 1 mission too. If you want to learn more, start in the Space Museum. There's a HAL 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me, I'll just keep spinning there and see how the cosmos unfold. I'm sure it'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. December 20. Cosmos Space Center. Space Museum. Let's see, where's the exhibit launched 7 years ago? There, that's the HAL 1 exhibit. There's Clay, Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Oliver Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Let's check out the newspaper article too. HAL 1 launching. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. Guess it's only natural he doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. Must be the HAL 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. No replica, huh? Wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. If it was a replica, it wouldn't have all those ribs in it. I heard Phoenix got arrested, so I've been looking for you. That's my intention. You must be so worried, but rest assured I'm going to do my very best to defend her. You mean the Cosmos Space Center? What? You didn't know? Huh? Oh yeah. She did? No, I didn't know. I wondered she knew so much. Miss Woods, could you tell me more in detail? Well, as a psychology specialist working at a space research facility, don't really know, but I do know that she lived and worked here. Sophia lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. This place is connected to a very sad memory. Sad memory. Sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Venus' mum in the robotics lab. She was murdered. Poor Athena. And all this time, she never learned at all. And so the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Court's case. That's right, and I was so surprised. What was Athena like as a child? It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. Present. 7 years ago. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to Hat 1 launch? What? Why? Yes, it did. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Athena's mother and victim of the murder 7 years ago. She was a talented psychologist like her daughter. Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is? Thank you for your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. Won't anything happen to Athena? Your attention center first then. You have to see Athena before visiting hours are over.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here.
Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. You on business?
To tell the truth,
I'm here to interview Ted Tonate, the one behind the Coleman bombing incident.
he suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And what he was saying was so incredible I just had to come right over to hear more.
Really? Yes? Are you sure?
I give you my special permission. Here comes a bomber now.
You, what nerve you have to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. I could waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence? No. Question? Okay. No violence. Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tony. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. What are you talking about? Who else could there have been? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder. What? I don't know who it was, but that's who blew up the courtroom. Easy there, Trucy. I don't see any Cyclops, so I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me, I got a little carried away, but I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb.
And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. We haven't found any new facts, though.
Wow, they've laid it all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh, looks like his geek switch has been activated.
Well, I hope you're all ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special round of questioning.
Anything but that.
I'm afraid I have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes. That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go.
What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. December 20, Cosmos Space Center, Robotics Lab. Tries. So they plan to use this bag to carry any capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. See, why didn't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo Nova Blackwell. I don't know what they're talking about. Ow! Juicy and Mr. Right.
Ow, get off my head, Miss Aura.
I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab.
Ow! Ow! Ow, ow, ow.
The princess, huh? Guess he's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. The subordinates
Ow, ow, ow. Get off my head, Miss Aura.
I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena?
Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay?
Mr. Terran? But that's Apollo you're talking to.
Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran, Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran.
I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. And to haunt the lawyer that defends her. A robot that can see ghosts.
Yeah, right. And I'm a spirit medium.
Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena, no matter what you have to say about it.
Ow!
How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? I'd like to hear about that incident too. Help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too?
Ow, 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 ow.
Well, if you're the one who was asking Apollo, come on, you talk.
But Miss Aura, that's private information. Ow! Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me. I'm ready to utilize my blast processing abilities to impart all available information. The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab are designed by Miss Aura. Was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much, much younger then.
Yikes, I want you to say if you don't want to give a cycle chronicle.
And then our hearts were created by that great genius, Dr. Metis Sykes.
Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing?
Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Ah!
Huh? She just glanced over our desk. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you.
Ow. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Ow!
Congo is an important... Uh-huh. What do you mean by that? Ow! Ow! Get out of my head! Get out of my head! Please, I'm begging you! Ow! I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the dolphins. Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. Yes, Prosecutor Black. Or so it seems. Ow! I can't say anything for sure right now. And that's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it. Tell me, be sure. Prosecutor Blackwell's forte. His infamous power of suggestion technique. He seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything. Obviously. Well, it makes sense now. Ow! Get out of my head, Aura! Miss Aura, stop! What does this sound? Ow! 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 Ow, 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 ow. What a way to get shown out. Guess that's just how she is. Why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay just like how Aura lost Dr. Sykes. Guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? Hey, wait, Trucy, come back. She's gone. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. Guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. December 20th, right? Agency. Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. Guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And then, for a while after that, she was always by my side. And I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Huh? There's something on the floor. What's the lad doing here? Hey Nick, it's been a while, huh? Miss me? I know this I'm writing. I think she, or whatever paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. Yours truly, Maya Fay. Good old Maya, says if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Ah yes, the old art style. Maybe or not, but she's a spirit medium. This Magatam I used on Cyclops. Maya is the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? How have you been, Mr. Nick? Where do I start? This is Pearl Faye, I call her Pearls. She is Maya's cousin, who is also a spirit medium. A very talented one, and known her since she was 8 years old. But Paul and Athene only met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. I can't believe it. What? She's even further off on the details than Maya. Wish I could take you out to eat or something, perhaps, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. It didn't come here. Did you read the postscript on the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of your office. So Pearlie said she would come help you. Isn't she sweet? You better thank her. Oh, so that's what you're doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls. My own Pearls, thanks to these two. Starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna whip this place in shape. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about his case. When the trial's still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Well, look who's here. Wonder what they're talking about. Don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell? Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? When there's no tomorrow? What's she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. Wow, I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, Stono. Looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, you did. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was just the just thing to do. But as a result, Sykes then was arrested. Was that the just thing to do too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend them for your innocence. I wouldn't take things so lightly if I were you. I just don't know. This is blade-proof glass, right? Prosecutor Blackwell, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for someone you call a phantom of 7 years past, aren't you? You villain! Where did you hear about that? This glass is absolutely, positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Oops. Ouch. This wasn't my fault. Can you tell me who this phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Sykes, did you? Guard, the guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question, me. I stole Sykes Stoner's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Excuse me, Blackwell. God, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. There he goes. Detective Fulbright, you mind if... Well, I guess it wouldn't make any difference. Now, what would you like to know? Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police call the incident the UR1 incident. This game has an obsession with number 7. I don't want to think about that one. No two decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence, huh? Wait. Let's see. The first was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. Only one, huh? Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Can you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. Guess I'll have to see it some other time. And what was the second piece of evidence? This one's even more incriminating. A photo of the moment of the crime. See, there he is, at the crime scene, holding a bloody katana. But who took this picture, Detective? The incident happened the day before the Hat 1 launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across from the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took. Prosecutor Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He was definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. What did you just say? Execution date? What, did I say something? Never mind me, you didn't hear a thing. So he was given the death sentence? Yes, he told me not to tell you people, actually. But I guess there's no sense hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? What if the code for the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackwell would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. uncooperative when he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. How did it happen? I have to stop it somehow. Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. Fulbright here? What's happening? You've got to be kidding. That's quite a reaction. I bet he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. Some kind of robot malfunction? Not a malfunction. They're staging a revolt. The machines are rebelling against humans. They've holed themselves up in the Space Center and taken the visitors as hostages. They did what? No, Trucy. You have to get right over there. This is going to be one heck of a battle. My police are here. And the robots really are holding people hostage. Look, Mr. Lawyer, what do you suppose a group of people swarmed around? But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You'll never know what it's going to do. I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright, are you okay on your own? Leave it to me. Alright, people. What's going on here? Thanks, Bells. I can hardly believe what's happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I am happy. Clunko seems the same as before. When people are sad, I am happy. When people are angry, when people are... Oh, did I say something odd? Did I... Error. Uh-oh, there's something wrong with him. Looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired. Ha 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 ha. Clunko? Ha ha ha. Human beings are our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. What? What is history I haven't taken a hostage, so you better not make me mad. Huh? There's something being displayed on Clunko's face screen. It's the Space Museum. Trucy? Trucy, is that you? No. Trucy, are you alright? Retry. Recreated. Now retry. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. Make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. Won't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. She will. I dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright! It's the hostage taker. I'm back to my usual self now. You're still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Hard to mistake that car.
I trust you've been well, right?
Edgeworth, what are you doing here? This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. But now... Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're... Prosecuting right. He's Chief Prosecutor now. But you're saying it'll be a year, right? A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captain chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. She went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time that I had. I'll give you a rundown. Yeah, funny how she's got... I was gonna say... That's funny how she's got the hand clapped in that. Maya did, but then again, this is coming from a guy who now has his father's habit of saying with his hand behind his head. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was a psychologist, Dr. Metis Sykes. Yeah, Athena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes on them for you to see. This other photo shows the other side of the room, I see. I also have the autopsy report here. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by a Space Center staff member. God, my old age has made me forget how to speak. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat and had 1 warrant. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. 2 hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. Oh god, this is funny. Must be nice to finally have your attorney's badge back. Yeah, it's been 8 years. I'm sorry for all I put you through. No, I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you. Nah, I was the one that made the decision. But now you can stand in court once again. And you can mow them down just like you used to. Way to put pressure on a guy, and since when did I get such a big reputation? Another young life lost to the hands of a cruel killer. Edgeworth, you don't think Athena's a culprit, do you? That's up to the evidence and the truth they reveal, right? What about the hostage situation? Laura will deal with the hostage taker. Remember, we must never stoop to threats or acts of violence ourselves, even if people's lives are on the line. Edgeworth? I may be a stickler for the rule of law, but I have no better ally in the world. Right. Please stop presenting random evidence just to see how that person will react. But that's the thing. I need to see how people react in order to question them. And what if it's evidence that person isn't privy to? That doesn't happen much. You never change. I'm afraid I'll never understand your assortment of oddball clients either. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, the guilty verdict was declared in only one session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was decisive evidence against him too. The security camera video and the photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall. Would the prosecutor Blackwell have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. So that means he must still be hiding something. Right, and there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know, the part about the spy, right? Right, how on earth do you know about that? Director Cosmos told me, after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Black Quill of being a spy. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to steal the moon rock. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, you can stay the execution. It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth, and all I have to do is comb this room for evidence. What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe? And there's a spiked ball and giant drill on the floor too. Is Laura trying to build some kind of weapon of mass destruction? WMD? I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street doing just that. I better not think about it. It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench. That isn't a food processor, Pearls. That's the Hope capsule. It's scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. The first on the scene, a staff member and 2 police officers, wasn't it? They were here to collect the capsule. Which reminds me. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Cobbs? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made, shock-resistant bag. But how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all. So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? Looks like an operating table. It's in the photo too. Yes, it was here then as well, with the victim's body lying on it. Pearls, don't touch them. Hey, it's moving. It's... Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dis... Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. Wait before you do. It's Meta Sykes. Plonko, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh? So he calls Dr. Sykes Mother, but Aura Blackwell Miss Aura? With the loss, she exhibited a severe catecholamine imbalance. Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then, little by little, Miss Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. Before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Plonko, huh? Right, take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. Plonko and Clonko. They're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. And they can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I didn't know Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? Kinda sounds like those robots can do what Vina does. What's this? It looks like a giant power plug. It's attached to what looks like an electric vehicle charging station. That's a charging station for us robots. We come here periodically and charge ourselves up. Wow, machines that maintain themselves. That's pretty cool. Our batteries run out and we lose consciousness. We never know what Miss Aura will do to us while we're down, you see. Nothing motivates quite like fear, huh? This is one heck of a robot. There's something written on it. I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago, either. We were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh? You can see the probe in this newspaper. Yes, and you can see the stirred moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Notes on the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen.
So the person who stole it, think it was our spy? Sure of it. Dr. Sykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackquill is the culprit. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. As Miss Blackquill was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. Wonder which would have been scarier, now looking down. Well, I guess that's about it for this one. So what do you think, right? Any ideas? There are still a lot of gaps in the evidence. I'll pull it off somehow, after all. You asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence, right, Edgeworth? Yep, he called it a special request. He reached out to me when I was still disbarred. So that was what sparked you to get your attorney's badge back? Yep, the Blackwell case. Right, I have a special request. I want you to clear one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. That 8-year misunderstanding has been cleared up. And you must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of law. Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Just from the beginning, I actually like the job I have now. Right. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the espionage aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. It's like I said on the phone the other day. I know that the type of criminals you're after now aren't small fries anymore. Looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Yes, for this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the Dark Age of Law. That's what this is all about. When I became chief prosecutor, the court system had already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence, and a year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. Wait, do you mean? That's right. He's talking about my case and Prosecutor Blackwell's. It was a downward spiral after that. An absolute nightmare. In those two cases, the mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted, and before long the legal world itself was sucked into it. Such a shame. Once suspicion forms, it's very hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, to see the truth together. And they start lying to themselves and each other, and will do absolutely anything to win. That sound familiar, Edgeworth? I'm sure it's caused our new chief prosecutor to lose many nights' rest. Is it just me, or did his brow get more furrowed than the last time I saw him? The hostage taker's disdain for the courts is a perfect example of the times. Sure is. Do you have any idea who the hostage taker might be?
Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and who can manipulate robots can really only be Aura Blackwell. Who else but her would want a retrial on that case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and in this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps she intended to force Miss Sykes to confess. Actually, I think she had a much more horrific plan in mind for Athena. The important thing is for you to solve UR1 and prove Blackwell's innocence. I'm counting on you, right, to set that prosecutor and those hostages free? I'll be counting on you in court, me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help uncover the truth. This isn't an official trial. I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. Mr. Wright, are you finished with your investigation? Yeah, but I'd like you to tell the hostage taker something for me. You have to go to the detention center. I'll start the trial until I've talked to Athena. She's already given her consent. I'll accompany you to the detention center. So I'm still being watched, huh? See you in court, Edgeworth. Even if it will be an undocumented trial, it'll be good to face you in the court again. December 20th. Detention Center. Visitor's room. She was right by my side only a few short hours ago. But I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. And because you're my friend and I was worried about you. Thanks, boss. I'm not the only one who's worried either. Really? Well, I saw Miss Woods today. She was so beside herself she came to find me. She told me you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place. Oh, so you know her. I'm sorry. That's alright, but there are some other things I'd like to ask you. Talk. Tell me about the day Clay was murdered. I was actually at the Space Center that day. In the Space Museum. Right, where the culprit fled to? That's not good. Do you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? The one with your mother in it? I did, but what I really wanted to see was her jacket. Her jacket on display. That was Dr. Sykes's? Now explain the gash on it. Now explain the state of it, rather. When I came to, I was in the passage behind the rocket. In the shadows where people could... Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave? When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out in the boarding lounge too. No memory, huh? This is gonna be tough. I think that's enough of that, Athena. Let's talk about something else. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Of course, I believe her. But will anybody else? What kind of research was Dr. Sykes, your mother, doing? Machines that could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice. And my special ability. Someday when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. Uh-huh. So she said they had to be able to understand. No need to apologize. Guess her home life was complicated. Oh, by the way, Mr. Wood said something about you always wearing headphones. I had to whip every time I went out. Okay, but let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some handy subject for her research. I'm sure of it. Wait, Moonrock. I'm really sure she did, because that's what I'm doing to me. Moonrock hearing added to the court record. Better ask her a little more about her mother's research. And show her that paper I found in the robotics lab. Don't talk like that, Athena. We're going to clear you of all suspicion. Nope, wrong paper then. You seem to really love Ponko and Clonko. Yeah, my mother made them and I grew up around them. Uh-huh. Nani? A little girl who grew up around robots. Seems to have some good memories of it. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person has even taken hostages? I guess I'd better spare the news about Trucy. Well, after some negotiating, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. Yep, I know he's innocent. Just how to prove it.
So, wait, did you know him back then? And like now, where he's more twisted than a basket of snakes. That's why I took the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. Please, you have to listen to me. She heard the voice of his heart. Holmes is right. You did the very best you could at the time. But nothing I said did any good. I need to save Simon, but I had no idea how. Nobody. Doesn't seem like Athena knows that Prosecutor Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. I wanted to do it so bad, even now. I want to fly over and go save him. Come to think of it, she said something like that during the famous Legal Academy trial. She mentioned there was somebody she wanted to save. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview, Simon. Extremely uncooperative. No, I can't tell her. How can I lie to Athena? He was doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocent in this trial, I don't think Athena will let it. You just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. Ah, I thought you might be here, Mr. Lawyer. We're in trouble. We are? Where is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session. It's very difficult to interrupt a trial once it's underway. He's still not changed the ringtone. I told you I'd give you 1 hour. Guess it's time to pick one of the hostages. No! Wait! We still have a little more time. Besides, all the courtrooms are being used right now. Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get more time. The Dorothy's first. No! Don't you dare hurt her. There has to be something I can do. The cruelest injustice is about to befall us. Wait a minute. Maya? Courtroom. Blew up. That's it! There is a courtroom we can use after all.
Hold it!
Aura, please don't add to the crimes you've already committed. Be ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the ruins of courtroom number 4, the one blown up by the bomber. I never would have thought of that. An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only befitting. I'll go get the place ready right away. Didn't exactly pick the place for its astonishing factor. How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's innocence proven? Not prosecute Blackwell? What? Black Cyclops again. No way. Can't be true. I see 5 black Cyclops. I've seen these kinds of locks before. Dark black locks. Protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them.